She posted it like a sermon. A morning selfie with sunlight slicing through the curtains, and the caption bold as a headline. Self-respect first. Never accept less. The comments came in like hymnals. Crown emojis, so true. The obligatory heart fire. I read it twice because the words felt sharp enough to cut through the small, daily fog that passes for comfort when you're in love. On the screen she was flawless. Polished hair, unbothered smile. The kind of certainty that looks good in photos. Off-screen, though, the apartment held all the little things I was starting to notice. An unfamiliar scent on her scarf, the quiet of her evenings when she used to sing in the kitchen, messages that dimmed when I walked into a room. 3 nights before the post, she had told me she was going out to see a friend. She kissed me the way she always did. Forehead to forehead, the kind of kiss that felt like an insurance policy against hurt. I told myself to trust her. She left in that easy rhythm we had developed after years of cohabitation. The door clicked behind her like the end of a sentence. And I went to bed thinking of nothing more dangerous than what movie we might watch next weekend. At 1 a.m. my phone buzzed on the coffee table with a tagged photo from a place downtown. She was in it, laughing with people I didn't know. At first glance it was the harmless kind of social life that cities manufacture. But the hand that landed at her waist wasn't mine. It curved around her as if to claim something that, until then, had been unquestioned. The caption was jocular, the sort of thing people write to soften intimacy into humor. I told myself I was being irrational. I told myself Engels lie. Days of small things piled like dust. She started closing her laptop when I walked in, saying it was work stuff. Her phone lived in pockets I couldn't reach without the pretense of needing directions. She began to repeat the language of self-respect in public, quotes, live streams, gentle lectures to her followers about boundaries and standards, and the louder she preached it to strangers, the thicker the silence grew at our kitchen table. The dissonance felt like a new room in our apartment, one I hadn't been invited into. Curiosity, that coward's courage, pushed me across the line I'd promised myself I wouldn't cross. One evening, when she fell asleep on the couch after one of her late nights, I picked up the phone she'd left face down on the cushion. The thread I found with a man named Luke read like a private novel written in short, urgent sentences. Midday compliments, late-night plans, photographs that captured hands meeting by accident, and then by design. There were messages that read like promises. Stay with me tomorrow? A reply always. There was a photo I couldn't unsee. Her cheek against his shoulder, both of them with that soft, reckless expression people wear when they're learning a new habit together. When she returned the next day, humming some song that suddenly sounded cruel, I wanted to break everything I saw into pieces and throw it at her feet. I wanted her to feel the same ripping as I did. I wanted to scream about the contradiction. Self-respect first plastered to her feed while she dismantled mine in private. Instead, I folded the rage into the small, practiced civility we'd always used to get through awkward moments. I cooked a meal, forced a smile, watched her eyes flit away when she told me how inspired she felt by the lecture she'd given that afternoon. She kissed my cheek with a tenderness that felt like rehearsal. The first confrontation was not the cinematic reveal I had imagined. It was messy and human. I set the phone between us and let the screen do the witnessing. She read, and her face did what faces do when they remember an embarrassing secret. It moved from denial to excuse to apology in the space of a breath. She called it a lapse, a moment of loneliness, something that didn't mean what it looked like. She said she loved me and that she'd stop. She said all the things people say when they think the right words can rebuild an already frayed trust. But the thing about self-respect is that it cannot be performed only for an audience. It is not a slogan to be posted on a Sunday morning, and then forgotten on the weekdays when soft temptations show up at your door. It is a practice worn in corners and in the quiet. Choosing honesty over convenience, choosing to put down the phone and hold the hand beside you, choosing to tell the truth even when the truth makes you smaller. Her public preaching felt cruel after I'd seen the private ledger of small betrayals. She had used the beautiful language of dignity as a mask to hide a habit of disrespect.